today's scripted game between the Bears and the Eagles, and the riddle for next week's matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. During the Colts' last Super Bowl title, the New Orleans Saints face the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round. They're going to face the Eagles in the divisional round. It is Philadelphia, where the capital of the Continental Congress, where the original 13 colonies met. This game is going to be played on the 13th day of the year. That's why it's going to feature the number 6 Eagles against the number 1 Saints. What's interesting is that the Saints and the Eagles faced off back in 2007. That was the year the Colts won the Super Bowl. 2007 is a pig year. 2019 is a pig year. The Eagles lost this game against the Saints. They rode their magic to the playoffs with quarterback Jeff Garcia. Their backup quarterback was Jeff Garcia. They got blown out in the divisional round. Interesting enough, the Eagles have their backup quarterback Nick Foles during this round. Nick Foles leading the Super Bowl run, and then, in another year that the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl, it's going to be a backup quarterback that faces the Saints in the divisional round. I find that very interesting. That's your secret riddle. And Nick Foles also faced the Saints in the playoffs before in 2014, back with Chip Kelly. They won the game on a game-winning field goal. It was similar circumstances. That was a comeback for the Saints in that game. And what's funny is that this matchup was possible because of a missed game winner by the Chicago Bears kicker, and the Chicago Bears ended the game with 15 points today because the site of the Super Bowl is Atlanta. So that's how you know today was a scripted game. The game ends with 15 points for the Bears. We have Mitch. We have comeback equaling 53 and 26. We have Mitchell and Saints equaling 82. It seemed like there's a narrative to face the Saints, but really what's happening is that the Saints are facing Philly instead. That's where it's really at. The Bears kicker missed a 43-yarder as time expired against the champion, equals 43. I like how Nick Foles had 40 passing attempts today. It's Nick Foles that equals 40. In a year with the Super Bowl, at Atlanta, Georgia, it's really fitting that we see Saints-Eagles again. What's funny is that the Saints and the Eagles played during the time of Super Bowl 41, 12 years ago. That's very interesting. Super Bowl 41 was the last time that the Colts won a Super Bowl, so you can tell that this is completely scripted. So let me go to the 2006 NFL season. I mean, the commissioner knew what he wanted if I was able to go 3 or 4 with this, and it seemed like there was a narrative for the Bears, with that 2006 NFC Championship game. But really, it was all about the divisional matchup back in 2007. So I found the right matchup. It's starting to make sense right now. So before I talked about, New Orleans and Chicago, but really what the riddle is now is, this Eagles-Saints game. Louisiana Super Bowl. Last time we've seen a Super Bowl on February the 3rd was at the Mercedes-Benz Super Bowl. I mean, the last time a wild-card team won the Super Bowl was on 2-3. Granted, it was a division winner, but it was the Baltimore Ravens. The only other franchise to be from Baltimore is the Indianapolis Colts. That's really what's going on here. It's a backup quarterback in 2006 against the Saints. In the year that the Colts win the Super Bowl, we have history repeating itself again this year, and once again Nick Foles faced off against the Saints before in 2014. These things just aren't coincidental. Coach Sean Payton's going to win his 13th game against the Eagles. He's going to remain at 79 losses. He's going to compete to be a champion, in the NFC title game. That's what this is all about. And Doug Peterson's going to have a 4-1 record in the playoffs, the year after reaching a Super Bowl. So that's what's happening here. 19 losses in the regular season. This season's going to end against the Saints. It is Saints equals 19. So I solved the riddle. Everything for the AFC as well. I'm hoping to get 3 out of 4 correct for my finalists for conference title week using numerology for a conversion rate of 75% for who I have to play during conference championship week, with my 3 correct ones, potentially being the Saints, Colts, and the Patriots.